What's the best metal to buy right now? Is it silver? Is it gold? Is it platinum? Honestly, I couldn't tell you exactly what is the best, but what I hope to do in this video is give you a lot of insights as to why some of them might be better than others for different people. It's very relative to your own circumstance, but nevertheless, we shall dive in and find out a little bit more about which of the three metals is best. Everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and a warm welcome to you all joining me for another Precious Metal Ramble, where we shoot the breeze about all things gold, silver, and even platinum. Which of those three, though, is the best to buy? That's a million-dollar question, isn't it? There's so many videos about which is the best and why it's the best. And the short answer is that I'm not going to tell you exactly which is the best in today's video. But what I am going to do is talk about some of the pluses and minuses, the pros and cons for each of the metals as I see it. And it might ring some truths with you, and you might want to then reassess how you buy or how you stack, or even maybe sell and reorganize some of your stack. I don't know. I'm not a financial investor. I'm just a guy who talks about shiny things. So, without further ado, let's start with everybody's favourite, shall we? Silver. So right now, silver's spot price is a little bit disconnected with the actual physical price that you might pay for it. Certainly if you pay for something like this, which is the Mint Era Charles Britannia, we've got this up for auction. There's a link in the description below. It's already at £910 for a single Britannia. And for those that were wondering, that's what it's supposed to look like. So silver right now, despite the huge premiums, a lot of people still think is one of the best things out there to buy. And I would tend to agree with you in many cases. When you look at it in comparison to gold, we've certainly got this really interesting pricing point right now that would say to me, gold is at those highs. It's hard to actually sell gold quick right now at a decent premium. Now that might not be a big problem for some people because they might just want it as pure, simple bullion and sell it. It's a lot harder to get this open with the gloves on. There we go. It might just be very simple to sell as a bullion product, 1 or 2% over spot to a dealer, fine, done. But if you have some slightly premium gold and you want to try and sell it right now, it's so difficult because the gold price is so high. When you compare that to silver, the silver price right now is a lot more manageable and affordable for a lot of people. If you want to just put a couple of £100 into precious metals, silver is your thing to do right now. The question then becomes what type of silver, and that's really a video topic for another day. There are premiums on coins like these Britannias, certainly the new ones with King Charles, against things like silver bars, but then there are capital gains questions. You can see where we're going and why we'd need a whole other video just to talk about the types of silver or gold that you might want to buy. But from my perspective as a stacker, as somebody who's been buying and selling silver and gold for the better part of 7 or 8 years now, I'm certainly looking at the two and I'm thinking that silver is the better bet if you can get it at those lower premiums. If you're buying direct from a dealer and you're paying close to £950 to £1,000 a kilo, or £36 an ounce for just basic bullion coins, then I feel like your money might be better suited into gold. Now let's have another little look at gold, because despite the fact that gold is at very high prices right now, there's zero chance I'm getting that out of the capsule, by the way, with these gloves on. So let's just not, hey? Right, gold, really high prices right now. It's holding at those high prices right now as well. If you're looking for something, and it depends why you're buying silver and gold in the first place, but if you're looking for something that's going to be a little bit more secure, a little bit better at holding that value over a longer period of time, then one might argue gold is a better bet than silver. It is always the thing that leads. Silver follows gold and is often more volatile. And great little example I heard of it. It was actually on the radio of all things. There was a talk about gold and silver on BBC Radio 4's Wake Up to Money, and they had a spokesperson from the LNBA here on their program, and it was really interesting. And they basically described gold and silver as this: gold is the market leader and the market mover. That's what everything is run on. Silver follows it, but in a much more volatile way. So if gold goes up, silver tends to go up perhaps a little bit more. If gold goes down, silver goes down perhaps a little bit more. Gold is that thing that just is constant and there all the time. And I found that really interesting. It's a little bit kind of like a one-trick pony. It does not necessarily make the most sense, certainly within the markets that we're seeing right now. Silver versus gold is an interesting relationship in terms of that ratio. It's a very sort of basic way of looking at it, but that's in a nutshell where we are. Of course, one of the other benefits of gold is it's a much more dense value to money ratio. So if you have got a larger budget of cash to save up or protect, then you're probably going to be looking at gold, or at least certainly a large volume of silver, which could be a little bit laborious. Now, if you're looking for something, though, that's got a little bit of extra je ne sais quoi, let's say, and you don't want to put all of those eggs in one basket, then platinum might very well be the metal for you. However, it is not to be entered into lightly. Platinum is one of these really weird metals. It's a very, very rare metal. It's actually rarer than gold, and yet its price right now is basically half of gold, just a little bit over half of gold. It's had a little bit of a resurgence in the last couple of months, but it was basically half what gold was. Now, that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people in this world. When you look back in, history, recent history, platinum albums were better than gold albums. Platinum coins were the better coins in Dungeons and Dragons and all of the fantasy worlds. So that's, I think, a really interesting point right now, that we are seeing platinum really, really low. Now, the main reason for that is because it's not a monetary metal. It's not something that governments will have and hold like gold. Gold is that thing that is fueling the big world economy. Platinum is much more of an industrial metal, and its industrial uses have waxed and waned somewhat over the last couple of decades, and that has caused it to drop in value quite a lot. Now, will it ever go back above gold in terms of its price point? I doubt it, but you never know. There could be a chance to do it. But one thing that is certain about platinum is its volatility as a commodity metal is ridiculous. So it is seeing massive, massive movements up and down when gold and silver start moving as well. And it also can move independently of gold and silver as well. It's not as intrinsically linked to them. The only issue in my mind with platinum is it's, first of all, taxable here in the United Kingdom and in many other countries as well, because it's a very industrial metal, which means when you buy it, you're often paying a big premium on it. So it's very similar and akin to silver. I think of platinum as essentially just a very compressed, dense form of silver. This platinum coin here will sell for about £1,100. So you're probably looking at that being around about, I can't do the maths in my head, mate, let's call it, 50 ounces or so of silver. So I like to think of this as a 50-ounce silver bar rather than a 1-ounce platinum coin. And if I'm going to sell it at the other end and try and get it out, get the money out of it, then I've got to treat it like that. I can't just sit there and expect to go to a dealer and get that cash. I've got to put the work in for it. I've got to put that energy and effort into my selling of anything that is not essentially easy like gold. So that's the general idea with platinum. Now, will it see a big resurgence over the course of the next couple of years? I don't know. And that's where we're coming into the kind of concluding part of this video. Nobody knows the future, but what we can say, I think, with a fair degree of certainty is that precious metals will, I think, play an important role in preserving wealth against the devaluation of currencies. That's what they do best. Over a long-term period, you will find that to be your saviour. However, if you're looking at making just short-term profits on this, almost like a day trade, then just buy virtual silver, just buy virtual trackers of silver spot price, because who knows what's going to happen. Yes, there are so many different potential collapses of the dollar that might happen, or there could be newfound uses for silver within renewable energy. Well, I don't know about renewable energy finding brand new sources, but renewable energy is going to be a big thing going forwards. And of course, with the post-pandemic world of the beauty value of pounds, pennies and pence and US dollars and euros and their, deflation, or inflation, I should say, the buying power is deflating, then it's really worth thinking about having some of this stuff in whatever form it might be. What's best is down to your own financial circumstances. Generally, as a rule of thumb, if you have a budget, it's probably a good idea to have a bit of everything. Platinum, I would say, really only should enter that budget if you've got a significant, $10,000, £10,000 plus budget, and you just want to have an extra little bit of a gamble, something else that might be in there. So platinum probably sits on the outside of it, of silver and gold stacking right now. It's just too much of a difficult metal. However, if you're up for an adventure, then platinum is certainly one of those better things to look for. The rest of this, though, it's down to individual circumstances, and one of the reasons why I make these types of videos is to find out why you might feel one way or another. So it would be great to hear from you down in the comment section as to which metal you think is best right now. Are you stacking more silver or gold? Are you having a break from both? Or are you a platinum bug? I'd love to know what you think down below. Let me hear your thoughts in that comment section. Otherwise, a massive thanks to all of you for watching. If you've watched to the 10th minute of my video, you are now officially in the cool kids club, the Backyard Bullion Ramblers. Thank you one and all. It'd be great to hear from you, especially in the comments. I always get a good little smile from Mrs. Backyard Bullion when I tell her that I have some of my long-term ramblers that show up and have a good old ramble with me. That's it from me. We'll see you on Friday. Thanks all for watching, and as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.